politely, and then you kind of finish it up and you say that was great, and then you never mention it again. That's the right way to have sex, okay?
And folks, and that's why we don't do any sort of sex advice or sex stuff on this show, because there's none to be given.
I am wise.
I want you to write the polite sex.
Talking about this horrible thing called capitalism.
I have.
Yeah, you've heard that?
Yes.
You're like, what? How does capitalism of your entire fucking life? You've probably heard of socialism or communism. Communism. And they say they try to control your entire life. Your whole day is taken away from you. What control do you have over your day now?
Most people have a week and they're not allowed to leave.
When you wake up in the morning and you feel like shit and you have to wipe the sleep from your eyes and like look around and be like, why does this have to happen this early in the morning? That's a capitalism.
And it controls everything, like your healthcare, your education. It all comes down to making money, but some things just don't make money. Honestly, ask yourself, how afraid are you of getting an injury and how that could possibly fuck up your life?
Yeah. You're being stopped from skateboarding, breakdancing, doing anything fun, because if you get injured, you're fucked forever. You can't go to work.
And so then you have all these people that say, well, we can make a kinder capitalism, a more conscious capitalism. It isn't gonna fucking happen. We need anarchy, we need socialism, we need anything but more capitalism.
But wait, Brett. When you go to the grocery store, you have almost unlimited choice. You can buy 100 different types of cereals.
All made from the same stuff with different graphics on the outside.
All corn. It's basically just a bunch of boxes of corn.
That's capitalism.
It actually treats about 1% of the population like humans, and the rest of us like tools for those superhumans. You don't have any money, your bank account's low? I know where the money is. Jeff Bezos has it, the Waltons have it.
And they took it from us, right?
They took it from us.
We're just getting our money back.
Yeah, your work made that money. You deserve that money. That's your money. Decided to do the right thing. That's why we have to take power and just spread it out among the 100% of people that exist.
Oh my God, have you heard the news? Kids are dying of kratom.
That's not true.
They're injecting it into their veins.
I don't think that's happening.
An ABC Action News exclusive. A mom says a popular herb killed her son.
The most recent death happened in early June. Kratom, also known as metrogenine, was one of 4 drugs blamed for his death.
This was like the devil's drug.
That makes people feel better.
Yeah, it's a leaf. It grows from the ground, you smash it up, you make a tea out of it, you throw it down the back of your throat, you eat some capsules, and most people that use kratom don't have access to healthcare or prescriptions or any of that regular medicine stuff. They get it from local stores or online.
Let's do an example here. You're a young person, you don't understand how all this works, so let me explain this to you. When you get hurt in your older age, let's say you're 34, you work on a roof, you fall off and you crush your fucking heel, right? It's all shattered. The doctor 10, 15 years ago was like, that's fucked up, that really hurts. You're gonna need some opioids to kill that pain. And then the DEA says, no, you can't have those anymore. These doctors have to tighten up their prescriptions. And now you don't have any. You can't afford them. What do? You can take kratom. It has the same effects, it's less addictive, and it's more gross. So that even brings down the use. You're not gonna use it as much. Kratom kills the pain in your body. It also cures social anxiety.
The government's solution to stuff like this is always prohibition, which means putting more people in jail.
How big is your appetite for the war on drugs? I'm sure it's small. It's shrinking every single day. Don't let them continue it. Don't let them outlaw more stuff.
Good point.
Thank you.
Can you imagine being that sensitive? Like you.
Well, that's
like
what
that
they're
is the
PC as hell.
ultimate. Hey, you know what? This is the freest goddamn country, and it's so free that if you don't stand up, you aren't a free person. And goddamn it, boy, if you don't stand up right now, you ain't free. Because you have the freedom to do whatever you want. But I'm telling you, I have the freedom to make you feel bad for doing the freedom. Just get up and say you love it. Just get up right now, Copernic. God damn it. It's so free that you can't do it. You have to. It's free because there's only one way to be. That's why it's free. So be that. Damn you. They don't have anything to live. I mean, their kids hate them. They don't have, all their money got stolen by banksters and shit. Healthcare's running through the fucking roof.
I mean, I tell you what, even the jobs that paid me nothing, like when I was first learning them, it was like, all right, I can do this. You just need somebody to get the plates and make them go from here to here. I can be the master of that. I was really into that, and I can do that. But after a while, it's like, you guys treat me like shit, and I get the plates from here to here every fucking time, and you talk down to me and shit. What's going on?
Jesus,
you're counting my lunches. Like, you're looking at what I'm eating. You're like figuring out when I'm going out to smoke. Like, all of a sudden, you're in my shit. But all you said you wanted from me was the plates to go from here to here, and I'm getting the plates from here to here.
God, that was the representation of how I feel when I get a job. At first, I'm helpless. I'm a little baby. I'm sucking off the tea to the manager to tell me what I need to do. You know, I don't want to, my wings aren't fully formed yet. And then once I learn what I'm doing, I'm like, y'all could treat me a lot better for this. I deserve a lot more for this.
Wow, this is some bullshit right here. Now that you kicked me out of the nest and I'm flying through the sky and trying to flap my wings here, I don't think you're giving me enough.
I don't like this.
You didn't set me up right.
How many times have you gone into work and then looked at your boss and said, what are they doing? You ever think about the levels at a job, Brett? Of course, the people on the very bottom. What do they do?
Usually clean.
Yeah, the people just above them, they're the ones that do the second hardest job at the place, right?
Deal with customers?
Yeah, that sort of thing. And then there's another level above that, and that's the manager that's in the place. Now let's think about what comes after that, right? You might have a guy named like Glenn that comes to your office every 6 months, and you have to lay out the red carpet for Glenn. Think about what the person above Glenn does. Jerry is the person above Glenn, right?
Okay.
His job is basically going to lunch, right?
Yeah, heard.
We're gonna go up to the CEO now. The people that sit around a table and who knows what they're doing? Nobody knows what they talk about.
Playing cards.
What connection does that person have to what you do and what the customer gets? It just seems like you could really chop like 5 or 6 levels off of any job and the company would still run perfectly.
Think about your job. Now imagine your manager isn't there.
If you work a job where you don't even know who the fucking CEO is of the company, that means they're absolutely useless.
They're on the top, getting most of the money, sending their kids to private school, driving the fanciest cars, and they can't make a sandwich. Every new level of is more money coming out of your paycheck. Unions are fucking great because it's not HR.
Solidarity with the other workers. We need to use that and exercise that. You and your other workers are the most important people.
Hey everybody, welcome to Street Fight Radio. It's time for the call-in show.
That number to dial is one I don't know off the top of my head until it shows up on my screen. It is not here yet, but thanks for showing up to the live stream. It's on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. We're back on Facebook. I took my demerits, so they let me start posting again. You can find us at streetfightradio.com for more. If you want to call in, the number is 614-655-3887. Same number every single week. Get on the line. Tell us what's going on at work, what kind of bullshit is happening in your area. We'd love to hear about it. My name is Brett. My co-host is Brian. We've been doing this now for a very long time, and we're going to keep rolling with it until the end of our own times. So strap in, get ready to join in on the party. We are ready to do this, I think, right? I don't know what I'm supposed to say right now. I'm tired of pitching stuff.
Well, don't pitch nothing then. They can find it on the internet.
Yeah, there's
you know
more
what I'm saying?
stuff.
That's what I always say.
There's also, yeah, okay. This is good to know. Jason reminded me. If you go to streetfightradio.com, at the very top, there's the bar. It says home, shows, videos, news, support, connect. The last one is zine submission. We have a working system for the zine going right now. We hope to have Small Business Tyrants 2 done by the end of the month. We've got parenting, we've got metal, we've got dare and war coming up. So if you're interested in writing or doing art for the Street Fight zine, head over to streetfightradio.com/zine-submission or just streetfightradio.com. Click on zine submission. There's a form to fill out with your idea, and we'll get back to you and let you know if we can use it or not. Thanks for being here, Brian.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad I'm here. You know, I thought it was going to not happen today, but I made it.
Really?
I've been
You
working.
wanted to call it off?
I've been working my ass off, man. I can't get a day off. I can't do it. I can't. I'm trying
For what?
to sit around and not podcast. Actually, I don't have to podcast tomorrow, but I do have to work anyway.
Yeah,
'cause
that's
I
a
have
big
to do
work.
a writer's meeting, so I have to sit in front of a computer for a couple hours.
It's
But
like podcasting without recording.
yeah, it's less podcasting. Like, because I can get up and walk out of the room, too.
True.
Like I did. I got up and walked out of the room last time, took a piss. Nobody even knew. Well, they probably knew, actually. I just was, like, standing in the bathroom listening to them on my AirPods. Like, these motherfuckers don't know. I'm standing right here peeing. I've done that a few times on the phone with, like, doctors and stuff. Like, peeing outside or peeing in the bathroom. And I, like, got shit for it the other day because I was, I didn't flush the toilet because I was like, well, I was on the phone with a fucking doctor.
Yeah.
I don't flush the toilet while I'm taking a piss. You know what I mean? I don't want to flush the toilet while I'm on the phone. Then they know I was on the toilet.
Right.
Or using the toilet. They would assume I was on the toilet, I think. They wouldn't assume I was just peeing anyway, which is humiliating to me. So that's what's going on with me this week. Well, I took a walk yesterday. Friday night was about the time that shit really started to pop off here in town. They everything was like on a slow ramp up to opening all through last week. When I was out on my walks, I was kind of like, it's pretty encouraging. Not a lot of people out and things are open back up. So it looks like people are kind of taking heed. And then I came up with a genius plan to solve all of our problems over this weekend.
Okay.
What it is, so Friday night, once I got home from my walk, I was hanging out, and I jumped on Twitter just to, like, see what was going on. And what pops up but Standard Hall, the bar on 5th Avenue and High Street, it goes viral because it had opened back up, and the patio was packed with fucking people.
Yeah. Standard Hall also was famous over the summer for having a racist dress code.
They didn't know that. So they are also famous for, and which makes sense. We're going to cover Standard Hall a little more in depth on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Because I have some quotes from their owner.
I saw some too.
Pretty excellent.
Yeah.
And so anyway, they took the picture. They're like, look, these fucking people aren't wearing a mask, which if they're at a bar, I mean, the cat's out of the bag. You're fucking not going to wear a mask.
Right.
It's like, we can't get mad about that just because how would they do it? How
What?
would you do the bar with a mask?
Yeah, just imagine somebody being like, "Oh, I don't smoke. Can I get a hit of that?" And then lifting their mask to hit somebody's cigarette, and then putting it back up. And
Yeah.
that person lifts their mask to smoke their cigarette.
Yeah, that's exactly the kind of. So anyway, I see it and I'm like a little bit shocked, because I just figured, people are pretty smart,
But people also young and horny.
and also the governor, basically sends them a signal that it's okay to do it.
That's true.
When you're in lockdown and the bar opens, why
Right.
wouldn't you go? I'm not blaming them. It's not the same chuds that were out marching on the State House lawn that are going to the bar. It's people that trust the government,
Yeah.
which in our heads, it's like, oh, come on, they did 9/11 and all that stuff. But, a lot of people do trust the government.
Yeah, I saw that on Friday night, same night the Standard Hall went viral on my page. Zeno's
Zeno's also went viral.
was
yeah.
packed.
Yeah.
And there was people waiting in line. There was probably 40 to 60 people waiting to get into Zeno's, which is the grossest place in town. It's a bar that's been around forever. They have that really nasty, like, green and red, the pub lighting, that, like, stained glass lighting, wood everywhere, golden rails on everything. It's where, like, I don't know, it's just where people go that want to die. I think that's where you go if you want to drink to your dead. That's Zeno's is the place. So it kind of makes sense. Standard Hall's that's like two generations, you know. Standard Hall's the young people, Zeno's is the older crowd.
So what occurred to me as I saw this, and I did walk by it on Saturday, which led me to go to a road less traveled immediately after seeing it. I was like, well, that's a little dense. So I'm heading down to 3rd Avenue, which there's nothing, 3rd Street, which there's like nothing really there. So
Yeah.
people don't hang out there. And I just went on my own way down there. But I started thinking about it and I was like, one of the reasons these people are all so close to each other is because they're penned in. Because liquor laws mean that you have to stay in this certain amount of space.
Yeah. In
And
Ohio, you can't walk out past the patio.
So I've been thinking, like, what if they just first ended liquor laws,
Okay,
right? And
smart.
second, just let people stand in the middle of fucking fields and drink. Because really, people are just looking to get drunk outside.
Okay.
So you get groups 6 feet apart from each other just standing in a field drinking, and they would be happy. I can fucking guarantee you those same people would be happy just to stand on, like, Ohio Stadium, just to stand down on the football field and drink.
Wow, you'd be able to pay premium VIP packages for that one.
Right. You could just find any field, Huntington Field,
There would
Huntington
be
Park, any field in the downtown area, just let them all stand out in a field. But they can't do that. They
Yeah.
won't fucking think, their minds don't work because they think it's like, because I think a lot of people think it's like, it's these selfish people that just want to get party and get fucked and stuff. And it's like even more base than that in a way. It's that the natural human state is to want to get drunk outside when it's warm outside. That's just how people are.
Yeah, we've been programmed that way, though.
Yeah, all of our lives.
Yeah.
Just people love to get drunk outside. And yesterday in your neighborhood, I saw a guy at the park drinking a beer. And I was like, see, this is what has to happen. You got to let the people just... And if they could move around, I think they would cluster in smaller groups maybe. And there would be some measure of harm reduction. The only harm reduction I've seen in bars that are open now is the most ridiculous thing I've seen since the pandemic. Which is at a bar called Marshall's that's just on the other side of the alleyway from my house.
Yeah,
they have
disgusting place.
So they have about 6 picnic tables outside.
Okay.
On the patio. The patio's not big enough to put those 6 picnic tables 6 feet apart. So what they did is they put them as far apart as they possibly could, and then they built these things that are like plexiglass windows that, like, they don't go to, the glass doesn't go all the way to the ground. It's like a wood thing that stands up and the glass goes to about waist level, and like they just put them between all the tables. And
Wait, it doesn't go head high?
No, it is if you're sitting down, it's
Got
head
it.
high.
Okay.
But if you're standing up, you would be
Right.
like over the glass anyway. And I was just like, who consulted on this? Like, did they find a doctor to say, like, this is, because this is exactly like the other place without them.
Marshall's is definitely a slap together place. So they were just like, we can get all that from Home Depot and have the patio going.
Well, yeah, and also, like, it's in a neighborhood where people, I think they would be more conscious and maybe more willing to say, hey, let's not do this.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? Like the other places that are open are on campus or High Street.
Yeah.
Where it's like there's apparently when Standard was open, people were driving by and honking their horns and screaming at them.
Yeah.
And I actually saw on High Street, I was walking down High Street a couple days ago, and outside of Union Bar, they were having like a staff meeting with probably about maybe 10 people, maybe 11. It couldn't have been, it wasn't a huge group. And this guy drove by and honked his horn and said, crowd's too big. And I was like, got him. Like, and they were just all standing there like, oh, fuck you, man. You know, I'm at work. But it's like, I don't really know where to land on this stuff other than like, I'm not planning to go.
They want their right to do it.
I'm telling you.
They're going to shoot us all up if they don't have their right to do it.
Yeah. I'm until like 2 or 3 weeks from now and then see what kind of I Am Legend. If there's some like I Am Legend shit going on in a month, I'm going to be like, they shouldn't have opened everything back up.
It's never going to be I Am Legend. I mean, the thing is so mundane. It's so hard to make sense of it because we view things in such black and white terms. But like, it's just really the 20-year-olds that are at Standard Hall drinking are not the ones that are going to die. It's spreading it around to other people. It's like it's hard for selfish Americans to understand any aspect of this.
Like being a part of a thing.
Yeah.
Like Americans can't ever imagine being part of like a collective cause.
No. I do what I want and I do, and that's it. And I don't have to think about anybody else.
I mean, for me, it's like, it's kind of in a weird way. I know I'm not going to have to go to a bar this summer, so I'm kind of happy about that in a way. Uh-huh. And I do also think we're going to probably loosen up among my friends and start kind of, like putting people in the group and getting together and maybe backyard queuing and stuff like that, that's fun for me. That's the kind of shit I'm into. So, like, it's not even something that's like, I don't need to go to a bar, but also, you know, I was just kind of putting myself in my 25-year-old mind. And you've even said this too. It's like, if I'm not watching the news, if I'm not like a guy that does a podcast about labor issues and probably don't know why we're locked down either. I probably think it's bullshit and I don't know why we're doing it. And then when the government says, hey, you can go out, I'm probably going to go out.
Yeah.
Just because I'm not like, I'm an idiot.
You know what I would do? I would be out. I would have been at Standard Hall, and I would have been hanging around with a bunch of strangers and been like, so many people are going to die because of us tonight, and we'd all have a great laugh about it.
Yeah, you'd all be having a good time being like, people probably think we're real pieces of shit right now.
Yeah.
You know, there's
get us all around.
A certain amount of people who think we're fucking horrid, selfish people.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, let's cheer. And then, you just cheers to the death of everybody, and, it's a fun time.
I mean, I don't know what's going to happen.
I heard Republican National Convention is happening.
We'll see.
You want to go to that, Mug?
Yeah.
I don't. I need like a full suit.
Well, okay. Then we're not going to go. That's the thing. You know what I wish I was at yesterday?
What?
The Open Chicago rally where Mancow Muller was the keynote speaker.
Really?
Didn't know about it till yesterday. That's the fucking problem is, had I known about this 3 days ago, there would have been a really good shot of me driving 6 hours to watch Mancow give a speech. He also wore a mask at his speech, and it said Boomer Naturals on the side of it, and I was like, I guess he leans into that kind of thing. Like, I'm an old salty man, Boomer, but I would have liked to have seen Mancow give a speech. Obviously.
Without a mask, though. I feel, how's he wearing a mask?
I think they're all, he's a shock jock, by the way. Shock jocks are all, like, afraid of germs.
I guess there's,
because their life's going so great they don't want to die, sort of thing. I think that's really why,
Those people are so slippery.
I grew up
because like they will acknowledge that germ theory is like a real thing, but then also be like, well, it's on my freedom to expose myself.
Well, that's Mancow. Mancow is more of a guy that's. I don't think that he doesn't think that coronavirus exists. I think he more likely thinks like it exists, and if it's my choice to go out and get it, if I want to go out and get it, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's more because he's an idiot. He's like a pure fucking idiot. It's the same thing. That it's basically their stance on free speech.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, well, I have free speech, so I like have to say racist things.
Right.
You know, it's that like that's how they feel. It's like I have freedom of association, which means I can associate with people with coronavirus and then go associate with my mom at the nursing home.
Yeah. It's just frustrating right now. I mean, it's really frustrating because like the Vegan Columbus group had a blow up today because somebody went in there and said like something along the lines of, how about you let people make a decision instead of forcing them to be on house arrest over something that's less dangerous than the common flu. So they're like, they get to treat us like we're all crazy. You know, in their minds, they think that we are living in fear and we're sheeple that are controlled by the government, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I hate being in that position.
Well,
I
I've
want to
had-
look down on them.
I've actually even had that conversation, or we were having a conversation before about they're not gonna like admit if they're wrong anyway.
Sure.
If a million people die next Thursday, they're just gonna be like, well,
Government
that was
faked
gonna
it.
happen anyway.
Yeah.
And also, like when the numbers do go up, they say that's because we're testing more, and it's like, okay, so like that just means like that doesn't mean that the people don't have it.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It means that still the
there.
people that got tested have it. That's not like a proof of anything.
Yeah.
You know? That's
Yeah.
what people have been saying since the beginning. You may be asymptomatic and not know that you have it and are spreading it. That's why other people have been saying, hey, why don't we just test every single person? But, you know, obviously we can't get an answer to that.
Sure.
Because everything sucks is why. But yeah, I mean, I'm with you, dude. I can't like figure out what to do. I can't make heads or tails anymore. Like, I think we have been so burned by like the establishment modes of getting information that it's nearly impossible to figure out what
Yeah.
you're actually supposed to be doing at any given moment of your life.
Well, yeah, and parts of me, like, if when I'm up in the middle of the night on 5 hits of acid and, like, a bottle of cognac, I'm like, maybe it was the Democrats that released this thing to get rid of Bernie Sanders and to make Trump look bad. You know, they shut down the government and they shut down transactions, which is something they would never ever do in their
Right.
life. The only reason that makes me take it seriously was the fact that they were willing to say, we can't do the economy right now,
Yeah.
which is astonishing.
And that they're freaking out about getting it reopened,
Yeah.
you know? It's like, but I don't think they would be like, we got to close down the whole economy.
Yeah.
And then after it's closed, be like, shit, we fucked up. We accidentally closed down the whole economy.
Yeah.
We thought it was going to be good to do that, and it turned out to be a bad thing. People lost their fucking jobs.
Yeah. And
But I think that like it's really about it's like, I know that people are being forced to work, but I think that like we all have they have basically put the onus on us as people, as individuals, to make a decision here.
Yeah.
And like they're putting their thumbs on the scale for go back out. You know what I mean? But like I am like I'm going to be cautious about the whole thing. I don't want to get the coronavirus. I have decided I don't want it, and I'm not going to go out and try to get it. And I'm going to watch, like, Friday, I was going through the news, my Google News cards. You guys know, do you guys ever do that? I know I talk about these sometimes.
Yeah, I remember
right?
they launched that service like 7 or 8 years ago.
You know it?
Yeah.
I look through them sometimes. If I go to Google something and the little card comes up, I'm like, what else is down there? Because it's like it's telling you what you're interested in.
No, it's good.
Which apparently for me is Walt Disney World, comic book movies, Breaking Bad, and student loan debt. That's really what I'm interested in. But
I'm going to check my cards.
But what popped up on my Google cards was a story about a treatment for coronavirus. Something that was 100%, a 100% treatment that could clear it up
Cool.
in like one day.
Yeah.
Right?
Magic bullet.
And like also explained in this thing about coronavirus, they were like, this is how it does it. It surrounds the coronavirus and it kills it so that it can't exist anymore.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're about a month away from having this pill that cures coronavirus. And I was like, I'm very excited about this development. Like, I was walking and looking at my phone. Very excited about this development. And even talking about how, was thinking about texting Katie and being like, dude, I can't believe it. They cured coronavirus. And then I realized I was reading Fox News. And I was like, I would never believe Fox News under any circumstances at any other time. I just want this to be true. Sorrento Health is a real company that really cured coronavirus. I started Googling them and shit.
That's
just
awesome.
really
Yeah.
believing, because and I should have known, because like what I was trying to do was like, I was thinking as I was reading it, I was like, this sounds all very scientific to me. And then after I finished reading it, I was like, you know, the guy really did just say like, hey, we found this thing that surrounds the coronavirus and kills it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't.
They 3D printed it.
That wasn't like scientific at all, but I so badly want to believe that they're just going to figure it out tomorrow. And I know that's not going to happen. I'm just an idiot. And like, it was just funny how willing I was to buy into a Fox News story immediately when it thought it was going to be a good piece of news for me, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Personally. So I saw that. Yeah, my cards are all weird, man. Like it's all like, there's a lot of wrestling and Bad Boys for Life news. Like constantly Bad Boys for Life news every day. A new Bad Boys for Life story every day. A new story about Bad Boys for Life every day.
Follow-ups on it? What's the news for
Today,
Bad Boys?
exclusive. Bad Boys for Life directors shot an epic alternate ending. And then also in other news about Bad Boys for Life, the directors had a really hard time with one of the more dramatic scenes in the movie, of which I will not spoil for the listeners because it's, you know, maybe they haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it.
You know, well, I mean, you don't
So they
see
had a hard
anything,
time coaxing. What's that?
You don't see anything, though.
I love Bad Boys.
They had a hard time coping with having to make this decision, but everybody felt like it was a good decision. And also, Bad Boys. See, I get multiple Bad Boys for Life news stories. Like, Google Cards is the most useless fucking news service that's ever existed. I also, like, I don't know why. I guess I might click on them, but I get stuff for the MCU on there every day. Every day, 3 MCU stories where it's like, hey, Yondu isn't going to be back in Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Well, I mean, that has a lot of scuttlebutt. I mean, that Marvel stuff always has a lot of behind the scenes. I cannot believe that Bad Boys is still keeping the content mill alive.
Bad Boys for Life, dog. Oh, here it is. Exclusive. Bad Boys for Life directors explain why Dark Moment had to happen. That was the second Bad Boys for Life story. So yeah, I had 2 Bad Boys for Life stories. I'm all closed. Everything's closed on my computer. And I will...
Fix that out. We're like fluctuating down pretty low, but I shut a lot of the stuff down on this computer.
What?
And it's
I turned my wifey off, too. But
Are we
yeah...
losing power?
Well, we're just trying to...
the internet is fluctuating pretty crappily. I mean, right now
Yeah.
it's running good, but
Okay.
it's like it keeps dropping down low. And
Okay.
talking about it in the chat, but right now it looks good.
So anyway, it's like Google Cards is for people who don't really ever want to be informed. Stuff to talk about. Because you know what the other thing that comes up a lot, Brett? And you'll appreciate this. And I don't know why this comes up for me. Obviously, I guess it thinks I'm horny. But it's like heavy metal guys' daughters post steamy pics from this website, and it's every day a new Dave Mustaine's daughter posted some steamy pics yesterday. Somebody from Exodus's daughter posted some steamy pics.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I mean, I don't want that.
You know what? I mean, I don't want to go too much into it. I don't want to perform, but it is really hard for me sometimes using the internet because I'll try to spy on stuff. I followed like one of those Norse mythology pages. I was trying to find some alt-right stuff, but it was like women that are into Norse mythology. And every time I look at my Facebook stories, it will always be like some red-haired woman with a gigantic sword, you know, like half naked. And I have to like, I've always checked behind my shoulder because I feel like it looks like I'm being a creep, you know, like I didn't mean to. And also, so there's a few other pages that always post steamy pictures out of nowhere. Mommy Needs Vodka is a weird one.
I know that one.
They will post like Jessica Alba post baby pictures, and it's like this really steamy preview picture. Mm-hmm. It sucks.
I got fart on my wits is one of them. They used to be fart on my tits, but they changed it to wits because I think they're trying to go mainstream.
Yeah.
But that's all like Steve Irwin's daughter in steamy photo shoot in underwear. And I'm just like, God, good Lord.
I think fart on my tits is worth getting kicked off Facebook because you could turn that into something.
It wasn't kicked off. They didn't get kicked off.
No, I know.
They're just trying to go mainstream
I get
with
it.
the wits, you know?
Yeah, they're like 2 Chainz when he was Titty Boy.
Yeah, you can't go mainstream with a name like Fart on My Tits, you know?
It's so funny, though. And it's just something that never would be requested.
That's a Matt Chrisman find. He way back when he said it on Street Fight. In one of his very early appearances, he said his sister followed a page on Facebook called Fart on My Tits, and I immediately typed Fart on My Tits in and said subscribe.
I'm gonna get on Fart on My Wits now.
Well, it's a celebrity gossip site now.
Yeah,
it's not as fun as when it was Fart on My Tits and it was just memes. It wasn't even about tits or farts, you know?
It's so much porno on those things.
I know. Everything's porno now.
Everything is porno.
It's just sick. I gotta tell you. But anyway, yeah,
So, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm looking through my news.
This week, let's see. I'm really sore because I ran a tiller. We're doing like a victory garden thing in the backyard, and I ran a tiller, and my back is in so much fucking pain right now. It's ridiculous.
Katie Burns, my wife, in the same position. She fucking patched up today with a weed patch.
Yeah.
And also bought 2 cocktails at to-go cocktails at a bar called Painkiller. And also put weed lotion on.
Yeah.
And it's probably had more. I mean, I got a lot of high CBD shit at the house, so it was actually medicine, you know?
I have my Dragon Balm that I got from Seattle. I've been rubbing it on all day and eating cookies like crazy and drinking beer. But if I drink too much beer, I will injure myself. Last time I had a back injury, I drank and then was like, oh my goodness, my back doesn't even hurt anymore. And I was like just acting out like crazy. And then I was in bed the whole next day.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
The other thing I watched, since a lot of people are enjoying this, my heavy metal journey, I watched this documentary, and it's for free. It's totally free on YouTube. It's called Slave to the Grind. It's about grindcore music. Do you know grindcore music, Brian?
No. Well, I mean, is it like Cannibal Corpse?
No,
Okay.
it's faster than that,
man.
even.
I don't know.
I think Cannibal Corpse wasn't even in there, but it's close. I mean, it's pretty much the same. It sounds the same. The other funny thing about metal is that everybody thinks that their niche genre is like so much different than the rest.
Yeah.
People are like, I know. I mean, you'll probably, this is a little bit different than what you're used to, and it all just sounds like metal to me.
Well, I mean, we do the same thing. Like a lot of times with the podcast scene, it's like, well, we don't do the same thing.
That's true. It's not the same. It's not all the same.
We're all like sliced up, and we're all basically covering the same shit. And I mean, obviously we all have our beats, but you know what I mean. Like it's the same sensibilities, I guess.
But there was this one part that fucking cracked me up at the end, where they're like talking to this guy, and he looks like a big city journalist guy. Like he just has glasses on and like the minor league baseball hat, and he kind of looks like an Eggman. And he's like, we've been wanting to do this project for a really long time. It's been it's been something that we've talked about for years, and it's finally happened. And then they cut to this woman that's like 2-dimensional. She's like a fucking pencil. She's just tiny. And then she's like, yeah, we've talked about this for forever, and we really wanted to do it. And they cut to the concert footage. It's like 25 people standing in there, and all of a sudden, every song starts off like real slow. It's just like, and then it just goes, like the whole thing is built around blast beat, which is just playing as fast as possible. You play 16th notes as fast as possible, and then you hit your snare like every other one. And then the guy just starts going, oh, no, and then when he stops, she comes from the side stage and she's like, and then I just don't fucking. I was laughing so hard that people paid money for this. There's like all these people that were like, that was probably one of the best shows I've been to in my life.
People who go to shows that nobody's at. Always,
yeah.
We said this when me and you saw Ween, we were walking out and we were talking about how funny it is. Like they were leaving and this guy was like, that was fucking awesome. The guy he was walking with was like, it was a fucking awesome show. Probably like the second most awesome one. The first most awesome one was one you weren't at.
Yeah. Yeah.
People
he
love
just brings up a better concert right after.
Yeah. Yeah. But he loved the show. It's just like, it's much easier just to say like, but the other one I went to was better. If you can imagine how good this one was,
right?
The other one better. You know, just imagine like one slight tick up better than that. And I've noticed it now at every show I go to. If you're walking out after the show ends, as you walk out the door, you will hear that variations of that at every single show. Wrestling, concerts, sporting events. You will every time hear somebody say, that's the best. It was fucking awesome. It was the second most awesome night I've ever had in my life, dude.
Yeah. I bit some friends' heads off because they were like, I don't know, it didn't really sound like what I was expecting, and I was like, I'm not hearing that. I'm going to the car.
Yeah.
I'm loving this.
I've told this. I don't go to the movies with people. I don't like going to the movies with people anymore because of that. I went and saw it with a good close friend of ours. I saw Inglourious Bastards, and he was shit-faced drunk. And at the end of the fucking movie, we were walking out, and I was like, I love Quentin Tarantino. I'm like a real mark for that kind of stuff.
You also love any movie you just saw.
I do. That's true. Why doesn't people even understand that? So I'm walking on opening night, too, and just high as shit. That was in my Firecrackers days.
Yeah.
Where I was just fucking, I was probably doing 200 milligrams of weed at night. I'm really down. So anyway, we're walking out and I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking like, boy, that was a really important movie. It was really good. I really enjoyed that. Having like really happy thoughts. And
you're thinking about the dialogue and how you like the back and forth and what was my favorite scene.
And then the dude that I went with just went like this. That movie fucking sucked. And now he quotes it all the fucking time because he loves it. He like just literally, he loves this movie and he ruined the first time I saw it, he ruined the good feelings at the end, which is actually kind of a funny prank. I told you the other story.
It's funny though because he does, like, if you're in another room, he'll say Gorlami.
Yeah. He loves to quote that fucking movie now. And the other time it was like the Avengers movie that first came out, which, yes, uncool now, but at the time it was like I saw all the movies leading up to the Avengers, and the Avengers came out, and it was the first time that I'd ever heard of a movie like this where they mixed all the characters from other movies. I was very excited to see this movie. I bought tickets to see it on opening night on IMAX. I was like, I'm gonna go see this movie, and then another dude that I don't hang out with very much, was like, I'll come with you. I'd love to go with you. And I was like, okay. So he got a ticket too. And I went and picked him up on the way there. And I'm watching this movie. And again, as Brett said, I love any movie I'm seeing. So I'm like fucking Kid in a Candy Store.
Look at this. It's loud. It's bright. It's fucking wild.
These fucking superheroes, they're in a real pickle right now. And they're going to have to try to get out of it. And I don't even know how they're going to, And he fucking leans over to me right before the big scene is about to start, the big battle, like right after that guy got killed, the important shield guy in Avengers, you know what I'm talking about, like the bald guy that's like hangs out. No, the guy that hangs with him, the white dude that hangs with. Okay, so anyway, this guy gets killed. It's a big emotional moment in the movie. This
Dum Dum Dugan.
I don't remember his name.
Okay.
It's something. He's a Shield guy.
Got it.
And he was just kind of around. He was like Nick Fury's like assistant, you know. And he gets killed. And then I'm watching this fucking movie, and this guy leans over to me as he's dying on his dying scene. And he's like, "This is fucking boring." And I had to sit for the rest of the movie with this guy next to me that's like depending on me for a ride home from the fucking movie, so he can't leave.
You felt like he would have walked out if he had his car,
which would have been great. Would have been totally okay with him leaving, but yeah, ruined it. And then that's why I don't go to movies with people anymore at all.
All right.
You ready to take some calls?
Yeah, it's time to take the calls.
Yeah, that was fun, though. I enjoyed that. I can't look at websites. I got my hand off the computer.
Why?
Internet. I'm trying to be...
Is internet down?
No, it's just slow. Yeah, we're just...
All right. Thank you for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to tonight? So I got a veteran, I think.
Hey, what's up, fellas?
Howdy.
Hey, who's this?
Hey, this is Nathan in Northwest Florida.
What's up, Nathan? What's going on tonight?
Not much. I called in a few weeks ago about still ain't gotten shit.
You still not your unemployment's?
Dude,
know this.
I heard the numbers were like 8% of people that filed there
in Florida
are getting it.
Last I saw, they had denied, once they finally got around to looking at shit, they had denied like over 40% of applicants, but didn't just told them to reapply again.
Yeah, that's
and that was like 2 weeks ago, so it was already like a month and a half into this shit. You know.
Do you have a special like coronavirus website?
No, I mean it's just like the standard unemployment website. But I talked a little bit about it last time.
Yeah, well,
how Rick Scott had like broken it on purpose, and they built a new one. But the old one's still up, so it's really confusing. There's two websites, and like one tells me that I don't have any claims existing, and the new website is like, yeah, you've got this claim. So I literally don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, see, that's exactly why I asked. Ohio just launched a new unemployment website as well. And so, like, all the people that were getting denied all month long of April, they're now saying, like, oh, go to the new website. It's for disaster relief. It's the coronavirus unemployment site. And I'm certain they aren't sending letters out. I don't know how you would know that information, you know.
Yeah, it's pretty much convincing. I mean, it might be different elsewhere. I know a lot of people. That's what pisses me off. Is a lot of people are making like a shit ton on unemployment.
Dude, I heard about my someone in my family is making fucking $4,500 a month on unemployment.
Yeah, you know what I could do with that? I could change my fucking life.
Oh yeah.
It's really convinced me that I basically feel like, at least for Florida, we're living in like an anarcho-capitalist state. Is pretty much how it feels. But up there, with you were talking about your bars and stuff. Are they not like capping like people inside or anything?
I just don't think that. Apparently the health department is warning people and driving up and down the road, but honestly, this place is the type. I mean, this guy, I think, probably feels above the law because they own like half of the bars in Columbus, and they own
a few of the most popular. Standard Hall is also very new and very hot right now.
Yeah, food hall. They own the food hall, which is another huge.
And that's coming soon, right?
No, that's open.
Oh,
the one on high over there, right by Fifth Avenue. The huge. It's got. It's called the food hall.
Yeah,
and then they own.
Standard Hall just sounds fucking miserable. Like I don't know what it's like, but it's
we have
a place here called Union Public House, which is like the ritziest fucking place. But it sounds like it's like, oh, that sounds like a working class place. Like I'll go to the fucking public house.
Yeah.
But no, it's like $15 for a cocktail. You can get like I don't know.
Yeah, they own a hotel. They own the Endus Hotels, which is the property manager. They own Michael's Goody Boy, Forno Kitchen and Bar, Short North Pint House, Standard Hall, and I think that's what they own. Actually, that's all of them. And they're about to open up another one. But that company, it's like a venture capitalist thing, and the guy's like kind of a dickweed. But I just think that basically it's like these bars, they do have reduced capacity and they're not allowed to have people indoors. But what I think is just going to finally going to end up happening is these dudes, they're not going to turn people away.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. They probably don't follow capacity when there's not a pandemic. If you know what I mean? Like, I doubt they do.
Who's checking up on them then? Like, nobody's checking up on me.
Well, the other thing too is like, there's plenty of room for somebody. Like, you take 2 tables, you put them 6 feet apart, but then you put 2 chairs back to back, and those people are 1 foot apart.
Yeah.
Right. Does it go length and width? How many dimensions are we working with?
They're not. There's nothing that's like. Yeah. There's no guidance. It's really just like you said. It's a matter of. Like, you're on your own. I mean, whoever can make the most, who can ever profit off of this is the winner. Whoever, if you want to play it safe, you're going to have to suffer economically. Like this really is. Well, it just feels like it does feel like it's our fault. Like, it feels like I'm supposed to fix it, or I'm supposed to, like, even the bailout, like. A lot of it was people like asking for money from us. They're like, you just got $3,000 stimulus. Can you donate money to these causes? And I'm like, we need bailed out. Like, we got this to get bailed out. There's
anyone with a platform to like ask to get